Now I'm gonna talk about the top 5 things you are not gonna need to be successful in this industry. The first thing that you're not gonna need is you're not gonna need a super expensive camera. I know everybody's out there chasing the red camera, blah, 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 blah. You don't need it to be successful. Most artists, they can't even tell the difference between a GH4 or a red. They can't tell the difference between an A7S or a red camera. Even though I'm shooting this video right here on a $50,000 red 8K camera, nobody's gonna know the difference for the most part. You can get by with a lot. Even when I first started running ads saying that I was shooting on red, I'm gonna put the video up here on the screen. This video right here, where I'm saying that I shoot videos on blah, blah, blah camera. I shot none of these videos on that camera. These videos were all shot on Blackmagic, but you can just see even some of them might have been shot on the GH4. The quality is almost the same. Nobody can tell. At the end of the day, everybody is watching videos on their phone. So once everything's compressed, it's pretty much all gonna relatively look the same. So you don't need to have a red camera or an Alexa to get started and to get making money. Or you can make a lot of money. I know people that charge for $5,000 per video and they shoot on a GH4, which is like $1,200 for the camera. They're charging 3 times as much money that the camera costs that they shoot on to do one video shoot. The next thing that you will not need, you do not need a record label. And to be honest, a lot of record labels are cheap. I had Jay-Z's record label hire me for a shoot with Rock Nation, and they were only paying $3,000. The budget was actually so ridiculously low that I was gonna lose $1,500 doing the shoot for Rock Nation. And I had another record label from London where the record label had about $300 million in the bank, and even they were extremely cheap. So a lot of times you're doing these shoots with record labels, a lot of them don't like spending a lot of money, and then a lot of them also don't pay you until like 2 weeks after the video is done. So I like working with independent artists or small record labels. They pay you up front. They'll pay you when you get the video done. They'll pay you on time most of the time. So you don't need record labels. The third thing that you won't need is a lot of money for ads. So when I show people my like ad performance and I show them the little box that says I've spent $8,500 on one ad, people are like, oh my goodness, that's a lot of money. I did not spend $8,500 in 1 month or 2 months or 3 or 6 months. I spent that over the course of a year. So that comes down to, I want to say about 20, maybe a little bit more than $20 a day. And for me, $20 a day is how much I was spending on food. So I'd have my 20 that I spent on food and my 20 that I spent on advertising. And like I'm gonna beat this horse dead. I'm over baking this pie, trying to get you guys to please spend the same amount of money on marketing that you spend on food. Anybody that cares about their career can at least do this small task. You spend 20 a day on food, you better be spending 20 a day on your marketing and on your ads. Now, the next thing you will not need is you don't need to live in a big city to make money in this business. If anything, living in a big city is just gonna make more competition. If you're a smaller guy, like let's say you live in Kansas or you live in Wisconsin, you could probably have no problem being the best music video director within 3 miles of where you, not 3 miles, but at 3 hours of where you live at. So if there's a 3-hour radius around where you live at, and you can drive to all them shoots and shoot for everybody within 3 hours of where you live at, you should have no problem making a killing in that area. And then it would be very easy to market that area with advertisement. If you live in a small area, it should cost you almost nothing to get your work in front of everybody there. When I was running my ads in Atlanta, I looked at how many people in Atlanta had Instagram. It was 3 million people in Atlanta are on Instagram. And I was like, I'm gonna have to spend like $14,000, $15,000, $16,000 for everybody in Atlanta to watch my ad. And that's what I did. I spent all that money to have everybody watch my ad. If I lived someplace smaller, like let's say I live in Kansas, and within 2 hours, there's 500,000 people on Instagram within that radius. It would be so much cheaper, so much easier for me to have everybody watch my work at least one time. And then the last thing you will not need is you will not need celebrities. Now, they do help get you more clients, but it's not like a necessity. There's different ways you can get more clients. You can work with celebrities to get more exposure, to get more clients. But when running ad campaigns, you're gonna be getting exposure anyway. You're gonna be getting more people looking at you anyway. The celebs is just, it's nice if they come, but if they don't come, then you're still gonna get the exposure from running ads on social media. So those are the top 5 things that you will not need to be successful throughout this course.